Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Regina's World. This video is this is a special video to be made. I don't really know how this video is going to go. I really don't. I just decided to record it because I guess I need to get back down here. Okay. But yeah, I just decided to record it and let the chips lay how they lay. I was thinking about another video to upload, and the one that kept coming into my mind was about my best friend, how I dealt with losing my best friend at such a young age. My best friend, her name was Sheena Clay. Rest in peace, Sheena Clay. She died from lupus. And this was before lupus is as well known as it is today. I think the two most common celebrities who have lupus, I think it's a lot more, but I know the two most common people who has made it a normal thing now, and that's Toni Braxton and Nick Cannon. But this is before lupus was a thing. We didn't know what lupus was, but that's what she died from. And she died from lupus when we was I think did we graduate? Yeah, we graduated because I was already living out here in California. So we graduated in 2000 and when did we graduate? Man, I feel old. When did I graduate? 2003. Sheena, I believe, passed away in like 2012 or 2013 because I was living in California with my now soon to be ex-husband, but I was living in California with him. So it had to be around 2012, 2013 when she actually passed. But I'm going to take you guys back to us in high school when we actually found out, when she found out that she had lupus and everything that happened, transpired throughout the years that I can remember, that I can recall, that brought us to the day of her untimely departure. So if you guys want to hear this story, please stick around, give it a thumbs up, because I know everybody probably who's watching this has either probably know somebody, and maybe not have passed away from lupus per se, but know they passed away from something and can relate to this story or can relate to the stories that I'm about to share. So give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get on with the video. All right, so as I said, me and Sheena really grew up together. We was in the same neighborhood, grew up in she's lived around the corner from me. We went to the same high school together all 4 years. Graduated from the same high school together, everything. So it was around, we was real true best friends. We slept in the same bed together. I spent days at a time in her house. I was like her mother's other daughter, my sister became her best friend. It was always four of us. It was me, my sister Christina, Sheena, and my other friend Jamaica. It was always the four of us. And then throwing on top of my other sister Tamika. So I guess you could say five. But if it wasn't all five of us, it was definitely the four of us at all the time. So when I got pregnant with Keyshawn, she was there to rub my belly, make me food, rub my feet. She was the best friend a girl could ever ask for. She braided my hair all the time, and she was the one person I hated because she was very heavy-handed first, but she knew how to really, really braid. Like that was her niche, kind of thing. Like a lot of women have, they really know how to braid hair, and she was one of them. From conception, she knew how to braid hair. So that's what I loved, but I'm really, really tender-headed, so but she used to do all these funky styles and put designs in it and stuff. And I used to be screaming, and she'll do the worst thing, like hold it right until you stop moving. Oh my gosh, she was evil. She was an evil little troll. but my hair was slamming when it was always said and done. It was always slamming. So in high school, they used to call her Baby D. I forgot why they used to call her Baby D. I really forgot why they used to call her baby. What was the meaning behind it? Was it because we all ran? Well, I ran track. in high school. I'm too out of shape now. But in high school, I did run track. I ran the 800, 200, 400, and I did a 4x4, 4x2, 4x1. Okay. So I ran everything. Sheena and my sister, Christina, they threw the shot put. And they were really good at throwing the shot put. We used to go to the trials in the, state all the time. Like, they were really good at throwing the shot put. And so, me and Sheena was together all the time. I'm just trying to throw that out there. And she was a cheerleader. Sheena was a cheerleader. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a cheerleader uniform for Sheena. And she was a cheerleader. My homie was, and she was a captain of the cheerleading squad. Okay, so you couldn't say shit about Sheena. That was my dog. So we used to go to the basketball games together, because I used to do the scores in the book. She was a cheerleader. We used to go to all the basketball games, we did track together. I mean, that was my homie. That was my best friend, right? So around senior year, things got a little different. So we worked really hard to go on our senior trip, which we went to Disney World. And frankly, I didn't remember anything about the trip. It was so long ago. I just knew we went to Epcot. I knew that's where we went. But everything else about Disney and Universal, I think we went to Universal Studios too. But everything else about the trip was a complete blur. I don't remember where we stayed. I don't remember anything. It was a complete blur. But I know we went to Florida. So at Florida, Sheena was really, really sick. Like, she was really sick. And then she kept saying that she was had a stomach virus. And we was like, you still got this stomach virus? Like, you've been having this stomach virus for a very long time. Like, what is going on with the stomach virus? So we kind of pretty much took it easy while we was at Disney because we knew she was sick. We just didn't know. We just really thought, man, this stomach virus is a long time. What's going on with the stomach virus? Fast forward, we leave Disney, we go home. It was a couple of months later. Was it a couple of months or maybe a couple of weeks? It could be a couple of weeks. I was in the car and Sheena comes out of the house, and I think maybe it was my sister in the car too. And she comes out and said, Regina, I have something to tell you. And I was like, what? What do you got? And she said, well, I have lupus. I broke down crying. Like, don't tell me any of this about somebody that I love. I broke down crying. I didn't even know what lupus was. But because she said it, it sounded bad. I broke down crying. And I was like, what is lupus? And she was like, well, it's something when my own body is like attacking my organs or something like that. And I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not trying to offend anybody that has lupus or anything like that. I hope I'm saying that right. I think that's what lupus is. I think that's what it does. If I'm not, please correct me, okay? So I was like, are you gonna be okay? What do we do when it comes to lupus? Are you gonna be okay? And she said, well, I gotta go back to a lot of doctors and stuff, but I want you to go with me and all that. And I was like, yeah, of course. I'll go to any doctor appointment you want me to go to. Like, that's a no-brainer. Of course I'm gonna go. So I did. I was going to her doctor's appointments with her. Then eventually her kidneys, this took years though, but eventually her kidneys gave out, and I started going to dialysis with her all the time. And I used to sit with her while she get her dialysis done and eat the popsicles or whatever it is and talk smack while she's getting her dialysis done. And then I used to help her back home and get, while she's getting her rest and all that stuff. So eventually I end up moving away. Actually, first, we end up moving away together. She came out here with me into Las Vegas when I first moved to Las Vegas. So did she. Initially she came out here with me. We traveled together. We came to Vegas together, but it didn't work. I went disastrous fast not because of Sheena behalf, it's because of my sister. Me and my sister ended up getting into it, not even 24 hours of me getting here. which ended up her mama was like, oh no, you come back to St. Louis, which she did, and probably was the best thing for her, because right after she went back home, she really, really got even sicker. And if she would have got sicker out here, we were so young, we didn't really know what to do. So the best thing for her at the time, though, would have was been with her mom, because her mom was actually, the one steamboat and everything. We would have been too young to deal with all that lupus and trying to figure out exactly, what's the right thing to do and all that stuff. So she was on a lot of medications that she was taking and things, and and I was right there with her, do whatever it is that she needed. Fast forward until, oh my God, I don't even know. She went and she was like going back and forth into the hospital all the time. So this was what happened like over the years of because I said she didn't pass away until about 8-9 years later. So over the years she would try to work, and then she couldn't work because she couldn't be on her feet too long. Then she'd have to be back in the hospital because she's overworking herself, or it was always something that it just wasn't right for Sheena. But she was a big personality, and she had was always the life of the party, and I loved being around her because she was an amazing person, right? So I remember before she got like really sick, and when she ended up going into the hospital permanently, I had came out there to visit. I forgot why I was out there to visit. Probably just to visit. I went out there to visit, and I always see a few of my friends. Sheena's on top of the list because I knew her health was never that great. So I always wanted to stay with Sheena to make sure she was okay. And then my other friend, Nobia. So I always bounced between those two houses all the time. So Sheena, this particular time I came over there, you can physically, it has something to do with Christmas, right? And I said back in, she was a braider. So that's how she made her extra money, by braiding people's hair. But even though she braided people's hair, she didn't know how to say no, even when she was feeling bad. So when I'm over there, I'm spending the weekend over here, right? So I have these people are at her house. Like they are at her house. Several people. I can physically see that she is sick, right? Like she needs to lay down and needs to rest. I can physically see this. You have about 3 or 4 people here, which it didn't hit me until later what they were there for. They were there to get their hair braided. Because it was the holidays and people dropped them off. They need to get their hair braided. And one in particular, her name was Vanessa Powell, who lived literally down the block, was there to get her hair braided too. Oh no. When I realized what was happening, I shut all that shit down. I said to the whole motherfucking room. Now she didn't know she's cooking breakfast for everybody. This poor thing brother can sit up. She's trying to make sure everybody's comfortable, because that's just who she was. Even though she feels sick as a dog, she's still going out her way to make sure everybody else is happy. When I realized what the fuck they were there for, when I tell you I shut that shit down. I said, you're here to get your hair braided. You here, and you here. All y'all here to get your hair braided. She ain't doing shit. They said, what the fuck? What are you talking about? I said exactly what I just said. Y'all are some selfish motherfuckers. If y'all are sitting over here waiting to get your fucking hair braided, when you can physically see this girl don't even feel good, and you're sitting here over here talking about you're waiting to get your fucking hair braided, there are a beauty supply. There's a beauty salon at the damn corner. If you need your hair braided that fucking bad, or the quick weave. If you wanted a quick weave that goddamn bad, there's a beauty salon at the end of the fucking corner with people in there who can fucking do your hair. But as long as I am over here, She ain't doing shit. They was pissed like a motherfucker. They called Sheena. I said, actually, before I even said anything, me and Sheena had a basement. So me and Sheena was in the basement while they was upstairs eating in the kitchen. We were in the basement. And I asked Sheena, I said, how do you feel? Are you up to doing all these people's hair? And she said, no, I just don't know how to say no to them. That's exactly her words to me. No, I just don't know how to say no to them. And that's when I said, don't worry, I'll say it for you. And that's exactly when I went upstairs and handled that shit. They were mad as a motherfucker. I didn't give two fucks. You was not finna use my best friend for your motherfucking personal gain. If you fucking want your hair did, you can get it done. You can get it done, but it ain't fucking getting done today. It ain't fucking getting done while I'm here. You can forget that shit. So you can call whoever to tell them to come pick y'all asses up, or you can walk in the snow. I don't give a fuck. But you ain't finna get your hair braided. You should have seen how fast they scattered, because not one person was actually over there concerned about her fucking health but me. They was over there for their own selfish goddamn reasons. Get the fuck on, you fake bitches. Get the fuck on. Don't fucking do my friend like that. I wasn't having it. I wasn't fucking having it. I'm like, it is not that goddamn important. I was not fucking having it. So once everybody left, what did Sheena say to me? Thank you. I just didn't know how to do that myself. I did not know how to tell them I can't do all them heads today. I wasn't feeling I was going to force myself to do it. I said, no, all you had to do was just tell me that you didn't want to. That was the end of that. They all left. I came out there one more time before Sheena actually passed away. And I beat myself up every single time because I came out there for a funeral. And it was a funeral for someone else who I actually really, really loved and cared about. Her name was Mary Ann Smith. Rest in peace also to Mary Ann Smith. She was my brother's fiance's sister. Well, ex-fiance, because they never end up getting married. But his ex-fiance's sister, she ended up hanging herself. So I was actually out there for that. And we went to the reception, or I don't know what you call it, like the after funeral. I guess it was like a reception hall or something. I really didn't want to be. The only reason I was there is because there was somebody that I actually wanted to see. Her name was Tahira, but she was on some, I don't know. She'd pull that shit now. I'm telling you, I would curse her ass out. But I was because that was like my best friend too in the church. And when I was there, like she literally like act like I did not fucking exist. And I was literally sitting behind her, and that really hurted my feelings. I was like, we was friends for how long? And now you can't even speak, bitch. Why? Because I'm not in the church. And everybody else is? I'm literally talking to everybody else. And yo ass. I'm finna go on another tangent. But I let that go. But that day I was hurt. But that was the only reason why I stayed there. I didn't want to be there. Sheena was in the hospital. And I should have said to my brother, can you drop me off at the hospital so I can go see and spend the time with Sheena? Because this was my last time before Sheena actually passed away that I actually could have seen her face to face. And I didn't go. I stayed at the reception and just sucked it up and stayed at the reception. Months later, I fly back home from the funeral. I fly back home. I live in LA. At the time, I live in LA. And I get a call from Sheena's mom. And Sheena's mom says, Regina, I have some bad news. Sheena is on life support. She fell into a coma, and I don't know what I'm going to do, you know. And my whole heart wanted to be out there by Sheena's bedside, like my whole heart. But I just couldn't afford it because what we were going through in LA at the time, we was living in this extremely expensive apartment that I knew we was going to get kicked out of, and we eventually did anyway, just like I said. But we were trying to, well, my baby father was trying to live way above his means, that we shouldn't even been living like that. But I when she told me, all I could do was literally cry, because I was devastated. You know that it's gonna happen, but you're never really prepared for it when it actually does. And it was the most heartbreaking time of my life. My name, I never got to see the, well, I'll get there in a moment. And so, her mama called me daily to keep me updated about exactly what she was going to do, until the day that she decided that she was going to pull the plug on Sheena. Man. And that was the saddest day. That was like the saddest day of my life. Like, it really was. Like, that was like it's one of the saddest days of my life, when she let me know that she's pulling the plug that specific day, because she didn't want Sheena to suffer anymore. And I got all of that. I really did. I got all of that. But the idea of her not being a part of my life, or never being able to talk to her anymore, or being able to see her anymore, or call her on the phone anymore, that was the saddest day of my life. Like, just sad. Anyway. So the day, the funeral comes, and I was upset that I couldn't make the funeral. I was really upset that I couldn't make the funeral. And I got a lot of calls that day from a lot of people who went to her funeral from my high school, and they said, my name was all over the obituary, and I never actually got to see the obituary, but my name was all over the obituary, and me and my sister's name. And I don't even know if my sister went to the funeral. I'm not even sure if she went, but I was upset that I couldn't. And yeah, so she's been gone, and my life was never the same. I've never had a best friend like Sheena Clay, and I probably never will again. But I want the world to know that Sheena was an amazing person, and the best friend a girl could ever have. And I was lucky enough to met her, to have known her, to have had somebody like her in my life for the time that I was able to have her in my life. So, rest in peace, Sheena. And one day, maybe I'll be able to see you again, my friend. I love you, girl. Catch you guys in the next vlog.